Thank you for tuning in to Abundant Moments. Have you ever read this term in the Bible, Lord of Hosts? There are many different names of God mentioned in the Bible, and each name represents a different characteristic, trait, ability of God. In the same way, we all have different names. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a pastor, I'm a daughter, I'm a niece, I'm a aunt, and a lot of different things that we have names for show also different things that we can do. Some people are carpenters, some people are doctors, and this is a name that they have, and it shows an ability that they can do. Well, God has so many different names: Jehovah Rapha, our healer; Jehovah Jireh, our provider. But 279 times, that's a lot. 279 times in the Old Testament, the Bible says that God is the Lord of hosts. Now, what does that mean? That means that He is the commander in chief, in charge of all of the heavenly armies, the host of heaven, the angelic beings. God is in charge. He's the Lord of hosts. In the same way, the President of the United States, whoever he or she might be, is in charge of all of the armies of the United States. All of the military makes the final call. Well, God is the Lord of hosts, and that simply means He is fighting on our behalf. I love an account in 2 Kings where Elisha and his servant Gehazi, they're in a little shack together, just the two of them, and the enemy has surrounded them, and Gehazi gets up and he's so upset because he can see the enemy encamped round about them. Everywhere he looks, there's no way out, and he's afraid. And Elisha prays and says, God, open his spiritual eyes so he can see. And Elisha prayed that prayer in faith. And Gehazi goes and he looks out, and all of a sudden he sees all these chariots of fire, these chariots all around that are way, way, way more numerous than the enemy. And he realizes that God is the Lord of hosts and that He has angelic beings at work on his behalf, working behind the scenes, things he can't see. And as you continue to read, you see that Elisha and Gehazi had victory that day because the Lord of hosts was fighting for them. Well, the Lord of hosts today, tomorrow, forever, is fighting for you. Recognize Him as the Lord of hosts. And when you're in a battle, whether it's spiritual or physical, financial, whatever the case might be, say, God, I thank you that you are the Lord of hosts. And I believe right now you're working behind the scenes, and I put my faith in you. I cannot see what's happening in the spirit realm, but God, I know you are the Lord of hosts. Because I want you to know today, the Lord of hosts is working on your behalf. Thank you for tuning in.